What's up, guys? We are here at the ASUS Suite Planet Hollywood CES 2020. One of the most exciting things they have is a new monitor. We're going to go check that out first, but after that, they got new laptops, a new mini ITX case, and some other things. So let's go. BPS Custom's coverage of CES 2020 in Las Vegas is made possible by Thermaltake, Fractal Design, and Corsair. Thank you to them for making our trip possible. Check out the links below and show some love to our sponsors, without whom we'd be gambling our life savings away trying to pay for this hotel room. Probably the coolest thing that ASUS is showing off at this year's CES is right here. This might look like any normal 1080p monitor, but if you look a little closer, it says 360 FPS in the top left-hand corner. This is their brand new ROG Swift 360 Hertz 1080p panel. Obviously, it's going to be targeted towards competitive esports gamers. And I was talking with one of the reps and asked them specifically if they had talked to esports teams about a product like this, and apparently the feedback they got on it was extremely positive. Now, obviously, are you going to be able to tell the difference between 240 Hertz, which is kind of the standard high-end, high refresh rate display, and 360 Hertz? Probably not in every single scenario. However, where it's really going to benefit you is when you're talking about getting those quick flick shots in competitive esports titles that are running at these ridiculously high frame rates. If you are a CSGO player, or if you're playing other titles that really can take advantage of running at these kinds of refresh rates on monitors, then this might be something that you were interested in. Unfortunately, no pricing exactly is available. I did kind of it was inferred to me that they would be pretty expensive, as this is the first to market for something like this. However, when you think about the progression of pricing for monitors, things are coming down real quick. 144 Hertz is now kind of the standard as far as what people just buy when you're going out and buying a 1080p monitor. Nobody's really buying a 1080p 60 monitor anymore. So hopefully that means that we're going to see, as this gets introduced, pricing is going to start to come down for things like 240 Hertz monitors, which are now the top of the market. And then eventually you'll see 360 Hertz monitors come down as well. So yeah, it's going to be expensive, but it kind of introduces the concept of monitors with higher refresh rates than 240 to the market, and hopefully other vendors are going to follow. But just looking at these demos side by side, you wouldn't think that you could notice a difference. You actually can, especially when you're looking at text that's scrolling quickly. And obviously that's just set up as a demo because it does really show you the differences. But I didn't think at first that I was going to be able to see it, and I can. So it's really cool, I think, something that ASUS is innovating on. 360 Hertz, ROG Swift, 1080p monitors. This right here. This is their new Chakram mouse. Now, I'm not going to dive too deep into this, but one of the cool features that we saw introduced last year from Cooler Master was an analog control on the side of the mouse, and ASUS has kind of taken this one step further. There's now a joystick here, and so this is pure analog control. It's made to mainly be used with things like flying, where you can use this to control your airplane and then use the mouse itself to control your field of view and where you're looking. It has a magnetically attached top plate, changeable little puck here that you can use to customize your logo and whatnot. Battery life on this is supposed to be 100 hours when fully charged, so that seems pretty good. It is a wireless mouse that charges via USB-C. It's got some RGB implementation as well, and stepping on the DPI is supposed to be up to 16,000. So this is the new ROG Chakram mouse. Last year, ASUS rolled out a 43-inch 4K variable refresh rate monitor. This is the next iteration of that. This is the ROG Swift PG43UQ. Now, not only is this still 43 inches 4K, but now it's 144 Hertz refresh rate, G-Sync, and it does not use any chroma subsampling. So you're getting true native 4K resolution on this. Maybe not going to be at home sitting on the same desk that you would normally use a monitor because it is so large. This might be better off being wall mounted. However, it's going to give you all the benefits that you normally expect from a gaming monitor, and it looks pretty amazing. And then this is probably the thing that I would want to steal out of this suite if I had the opportunity to do so. This is the ROG Swift PG32UQX. This is the 32-inch version of their 27-inch 4K 144 Hertz monitor from last year. This is G-Sync Ultimate. This is 144 Hertz, 1400 nits of brightness. So we're going HDR beyond the HDR 1000 standard that you would normally associate with high dynamic range. This looks unreal in person, and Mike, my cameraman, can confirm that. See? And But unfortunately, no pricing yet on this. It's going to be expensive, so don't expect to go into a Best Buy and drop a couple $100 on this. However, it's definitely something that a lot of professionals are going to want because it's going to be good for content creation and gaming. This is an IPS panel, so maybe it's not going to have the fastest response time. However, you're still probably talking around 5 milliseconds, which is more than enough for most casual gamers, and it's going to be much better for somebody like me who wants to do mostly video editing and kind of game on the side. The last thing we're going to take a look at today is the brand new ROG Z11 gaming case. Now, although this might look like a normal ATX size enclosure, it's actually mini ITX. And the reason why it's a little bit bigger than you might normally associate with a mini ITX case is because ASUS kind of went all out in making sure that this case had every single feature in the book, which is not something you normally find on mini ITX cases. The front I/O is pretty kitted out. It's got 5 total USB ports, 2 USB 2, 2 USB 3, and a USB Type-C. The interior layout is also really interesting because it is permanently inverted. It's not something that you can change around, and the GPU is mounted vertically, showing through the front glass. So aesthetics is really the key here, but it's also supposed to be good for airflow because they have fans mounted at the bottom and at the top, so airflow is going vertically through the chassis. It supports 240 millimeter liquid AIOs and obviously mini DTX as well. There's going to be 2 different versions of this case, one with this OLED and one without the OLED. With the OLED, MSRP is going to be about $250. With the OLED, $300. So not a cheap enclosure, but again, they are targeting a very unique kind of aesthetic. And also the build experience in here looks like it might be really good, which is not something you normally get with a mini ITX enclosure. There's plenty of cable management room. It comes with a fan and USB and RGB control hub. It's like crazy connectivity center just right here in the back of the chassis. All your wiring is going to be routed from the top out of the back. There's plenty of room up here for airflow for these fans, as well as plugging in all of your USB and Ethernet and everything else. It also fits standard ATX size power supplies. Right now they have one of their new Strix models in here, but anything from Corsair, Thermaltake, Seasonic, anything like that will just fit normally. So yes, this is a little bit of a larger ITX enclosure, but it has so many features compared to what you normally would expect in a tiny little box that they are trying to really target the unique aesthetic value and also allowing you to build with your smaller components. So that's it from the ASUS suite here at CES 2020. I want to give a big thank you to our sponsors for this trip. That's Corsair, Thermaltake, and Fractal Design. Check out their links down in the video description. Let's roll again. So that's it from the ASUS suite here, CES 2020. I want to give a big thank you to our sponsors for this trip. That's No, it's not ASUS. So that's it from here at the ASUS suite, CES 2020. So that's it from the ASUS suite here, CES 2020. I want to give a big thank you to our sponsors, Fractal Design, Corsair, Thermaltake. Check out their links down below and make sure you get subscribed to the channel. Stay tuned for more CES content coming soon. All of our CES videos are edited on the Electronics Mag 15. Check out the link below.